Chargers Now is presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Will Ortner, and today I'm going to break down how General Manager Joe Hortiz got away with highway robbery. How did he do it? Well, he dominated the draft just like he said he was going to. Hortiz has been known as someone who has said that he is not a free agent guy. He's not a big trades guy. He's a draft guy. Joe Hortiz likes to go into the NFL draft and find the next batch of stars, the next batch of talent. He is the guy who likes to go and find someone that has the bones of being a good player and create them into being a good player. And he absolutely went out and did that again in the 2026 NFL Draft. I'll break it down for you all in just 1 second. Hit that subscribe button, though. We're in a sub battle for the entire month of May, and I know it's early. It's still really early. But Chargers Now is taking off. We are growing at an impressive and an incredible rate. Make sure that you come on in and hit that sub button so you don't miss any news around your favorite team in LA. First piece of highway robbery that Hortiz got away with is the great Brennan Thompson, wide receiver out of Mississippi State. Now, this kid is someone that the Chargers were able to get later on in the draft, and he is an absolute speed demon. Had a lot of success over at Mississippi State, which I think adds a little bit into his intrigue because, well, Mississippi State, not a very good football program and a very good football conference. So the fact that he's able to have 1,000 yards, the fact that he's getting over 18.5 yards per catch, that's a big deal because that's a guy that's making the most of his abilities while also making the most of the players' abilities around him. And in most cases, there was a clear talent disparity. Matt Miller had this to say on Thompson's speed, and I think it rounds out the perfect picture of why Thompson was a great pick for the Los Angeles Chargers. A talented wide receiver core gets a deep threat in Thompson. With a 4.2 640, Thompson was the fastest player at the Combine. That speed showed during his Mississippi State career as he led the SEC in receiving yards last season. Thompson is going to come in and help revamp this wide receiver unit. He's going to revamp the core of this wide receiver group because Quentin Johnston is going to be your big play, go get the ball type of player. With Thompson, similar to McConkey, a little bit of Harris as well, you are going to find someone that can catch the football in those short, intermediate routes. But more importantly, with Thompson, you're going to see somebody that at any moment can break away and have a big play touchdown. Thompson is a big steal for this Chargers team. Hit the thumbs up button if you're excited about that. We got more to talk about on the Chargers, but I got to let you know that today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports picks app and is the best place to win cash while watching sports. With playoff basketball finally here, there's no better time to cash in than with our friends at PrizePicks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. To qualify for a PrizePicks lineup, pick 2 to 6 players and select more or less on stat projections, including points, rebounds, assists, three-pointers, hits, home runs, strikeouts, and so many more across so many different sports. With the new social feeds feature, you can share PrizePicks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. That includes me and producer Searle. You follow us on PrizePicks and get the picks before they even get posted on the show. I have a lineup for the basketball action going on later on this evening. Karl Anthony Towns, more on his points. Paul George, more on his points as well. BJ Edgecombe, more on his points too. New user offer. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with PrizePicks. Clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description. My final piece here on Brennan Thompson and why I think he's the perfect fit for the Los Angeles Chargers. He fits the scheme that you want to use. What does Mike McDaniel have success with? Short, fast, speedy receivers. That is Brennan Thompson. He is a similar type of player to a Tyreek Hill and a Jalen Waddle. He's finally getting to play with a solid quarterback. Now, I'm not here to disparage Mississippi State and say that the Bulldogs are a bunch of pieces of you-know-what, but I'm telling you right now, Justin Herbert's going to be the best quarterback that Thompson's ever played with, and he's only going to help elongate Thompson's career, and Thompson is only going to help elevate Justin Herbert. There's also plenty of room for improvement for Thompson. He's not a finished product. That is always a good thing. You want players that haven't reached their potential in college because they can only grow to reach their potential in the NFL. Brennan Thompson is the perfect fit for this Chargers team at that wide receiver spot. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me down below in the comment section. Very interested in what you have to say. I think I nailed this take, though. I think it's a great take by me. Next, let's talk about Travis Burke, the offensive tackle that the Chargers ended up selecting a little bit later on in the draft. Now, Burke is somewhat of an interesting selection that I think most non-Charger fans aren't going to understand. Because Burke is a tackle. He's not going to be able to bounce into guard. At least I do not believe he will be able to. So he is going to be a swing tackle for this team. Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, they're already there in the positions of left and right tackle. So there can't be any switch. But I think that Burke is the great swing tackle that you need. And he also gives you options if the Chargers wanted to potentially move someone inside. Now, when you look at Burke, I completely understand why there are people that would say, well, the Chargers don't need a swing tackle of his skill level, right? They don't need this type of player. Burke would have been better suited going elsewhere, going to a different team that had more of a need at tackle. But in my opinion, last year showed you that when injuries happened to Alt and to Slater, and both at the same time, the Chargers had nowhere else to turn. And what has Joe Hortiz done? He said, I'm going to go get a shoe-win, surefire tackle that can play left, he can play right. He's going to be a great swing tackle, and if there's an injury, you plug him right in, and you don't have to worry about what he's doing. Great in pass blocking, great in run blocking. Miller had this to say on the Chargers drafting Burke, and I want to re-hit it. Burke started 30 games at left tackle and 16 at right tackle in college, making him the ideal swing tackle prospect. If he can hold down the third tackle position as a fourth-round pick, it'll be a win for the Chargers, given the history of injuries to starting left tackle Rashawn Slater. The offensive line is in a much better spot. Plus, Burke gives the Chargers the freedom to, in a year, 2, 3, 4 down the line, depending on what they want to do, they can eventually move him into being one of the starting tackles on this team. I love that General Manager Joe Hortiz said, where did we go wrong last year? How can I take a swing on a player in the draft to fix it? Is this a guaranteed thing? No, definitely not. But I feel really darn good that Burke is going to put this team in the best position possible to succeed. Last player that I want to talk about is a guy by the name of Genesis Smith. Why do I want to talk about Genesis Smith? Because, well, I think he's a steal for this Chargers team. You're getting a guy that was thought very highly of in this NFL draft, as well as being a player that I think had a lot of success over at the University of Arizona, and you can just see that from his totals. Kid got better every single year, more pass breakups, didn't miss a lot of tackles, more interceptions every single year. When we look at the safety depth chart right now for this Chargers team, it's solid. But to sit here and say that it's great, to sit here and say that it's perfect, that would be wrong. It's also important to mention that this is an older group. So when you get a guy like Genesis Smith in, well, he's going to be able to learn from Tony Jefferson. He's going to be able to learn from Elijah Mould, Derwin James. But then he's going to be able to take over for them. They have packages right now. The defensive coordinator, Chris O'Leary, can for sure 100% use a guy like Genesis Smith. He's going to help the Chargers right now, which is important because this roster is built to win right now. This is a team that should be in the conversation for a Super Bowl championship. You need a player like Genesis Smith to help you get there. But more importantly, the Chargers got away with a highway robbery because they got someone that's going to help them on later on down the line. Tony Jefferson's only got a year or two more left to play. He's already retired once. So when I look at Smith, I think that he helps the Chargers now and he helps them in the future. And anytime you can get someone like that outside of the first round, that's a pretty darn good swing there. Which player was the best draft pick for the Chargers? Let me know down below in the comment section what your opinion is there. I think it's easy to go Akeem Mesidor, although I'm telling you right now, the more and more I look at Brennan Thompson, the more and more that I really, really like that kid. That kid's got some boogie to his game. He's going to be a big player for the Chargers. Let me know your opinion. Don't let me sway you. Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button on the channel. You don't want to miss any Chargers news or rumors in the year of 2026. And we'll keep you covered on all of them. We got videos coming out every single day. You certainly do not want to miss. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Bolt up.